Hello everybody, welcome to episode 28 of the Zillion Show series, Sketcheleshious Monday. Hey, you there! I want to remind everybody that if you end up liking this video, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. And right now, YouTube says that over 90% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so it would really help, and with that... Hello everybody, I'm ZooPhobia, your guys' as host for episode 28 of the Zillion Show series, Sketcheleshious Monday, where today I'm going to be drawing Zill, a character from the latest Vivziepop animation here on YouTube that goes by the name of ZooPhobia. So last episode of this series, I drew Spam, which is sort of one of the more anthropomorphic characters in the ZooPhobia animation, but Zill is among one of my favorites, if not my second favorite character, so I thought I'd draw him here on today's episode of the Zillion Show series, Sketcheleshious Monday. And then to the side of me, I actually have a couple different stills from the ZooPhobia short that I'll actually be using for reference for different parts of Zill's body that I was actually unsure as how to draw. But anyway, with that being said, enough of me talking, let's go ahead and get into a time-lapse speed draw and see how Zill turns out in the end. And with that, here we are with Zill, or Zillion, from Vivziepop's ZooPhobia. So as you can see here, I think he actually turned out relatively well, but you can see that on camera, I think a lot of this is actually going to sort of blend together due to some certain areas like his eyes that are actually sort of, I think on camera going to sort of appear as just one sort of big blurry spot due to how many times I had to redraw some smaller areas of the eyes, and a lot of the actual sort of graphite or the lead that was actually erased is still sort of visible and sort of blending in, and when it comes to the camera, it's actually sort of still picking that up and doesn't really define the darker areas from the, well, ever so slightly lighter areas due to what was erased there. But nonetheless, if you actually here looking at this in person at a certain angle, it does look relatively okay. Definitely not my best art piece, I'd say, but I definitely sort of went outside of my comfort zone while actually drawing this due to a lot of this actually not being directly from anything, and I just sort of took the general aspect of a lot of how other things looked and applied it to my own things that I just drew out of, well, not looking at a reference photo, I guess you could say. But nonetheless, as you can see here, we have Zill's head with his two eyes, and I gave him a little smile with his teeth and his tongue there. And then you've got sort of like his ears, I presume, coming out here. Both of them are sort of like larger because I found a couple reference photos that actually showed him with much smaller, sort of blockier, cuter ears, I guess you could say. But I decided to go with these. Actually, I just realized I don't think I'm supposed to be calling these ears. These would actually be much more like antennas, because Zill, as far as I'm concerned, is sort of an alien of sorts. But then below his head, you have his wings coming out to the side. I tried my very best to get these sort of proportioned, sort of mirrored directly on either side, but they're a bit different nonetheless. But as you can see, this is due to his two arms, which this is the one arm that I did actually sort of generally take from a reference photo a bit, as I didn't want to mess up this hand too many times because I'm horrible at drawing hands, and a lot of the time I will actually blow through the paper, and on the other side of this paper, I don't know if you can actually see it, but that is the Lucifer drawing, and I really didn't want to blow through the paper and ruin that, and as well as ruin a bit of the paper that I couldn't use over again. But nonetheless, we have his arm there, and then his other arm I just sort of drew going down on to his hip there, and then you have his other wing, and then his tail, which that's actually one of the points that I struggled with, as you can see, with a lot of erase marks there, and I did actually struggle with redrawing that a lot of times over and over. But after quite a couple times, I decided to go with a bit of a simplistic simplistic design that would actually just sort of go to the side so that I wasn't redrawing on this piece of paper too many times, because I did actually weaken this part of the paper quite a bit. It's quite thin, so if I were to redraw the tail too many times more, I would have blown through that and had to redraw it probably on the other side of something, which I didn't want to do because of his arm actually being extended on this side but not on this side, so I had more room to add his tail in there. And then as for his legs, this is the one part that I did generally draw on by myself without looking at any reference directly, but you can see that we have his two legs coming down and then sort of like his feet there, and then you have sort of like the stripes that are actually on his arms as well, and then I actually believe I missed one of the stripes that would actually come out on his arm here. That would actually sort of generally be right there. As you can see, that is actually on the other arm as well, but I forgot to draw it on that one. And then also we have some of those similar lines on his antennas or ears. I believe they're antennas, but who knows, they might be ears, I don't fully know. But anyway, with that being said, there is the Zillion or the Zill drawing from ZooPhobia that I drew out here. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed drawing him. So with all that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video,